Chad at Electrified Garage. Here we are going to install today a front trunk kit. It's a powered front trunk kit for a Model 3. We're using the Hansshow kit again. And this kit is pretty inclusive. It gives you everything you really need to do. This kit, this module, wiring, and they give you this great little boot here that looks kind of funny looking. And what it actually is so some of these kits, if you watch how they're installed, they take the module and they have you install it once you have the wiring and everything in here, put it back in the bag, and then kind of tape it up to waterproof it. Instead, this kit actually gives you a little condom that you put on the module. It's kind of cool. It's got a double-sided tape on the back and then tabs where you can zip tie it down. And then, since the way it's shaped, you can tie it off like that and it keeps the water out. That's actually a pretty nice little feature. So what we're going to do is open the front trunk. We're going to start removing all the covers and trim panels. I'll start with this back piece here. And then we're going to do this microfilter adapter. Okay. The next you want to come down and grab this, pull it out, unplug, then flip that open. If you have these, I noticed the newer ones don't have these. Okay, so all you have to do is remove these 10 mils. There. That one too. Okay. Now we're going to remove the front tub. So in order to remove the front tub, you want to start up here by the strut, lift, and work your way around. There you go. And lift out. There you go. And now we have access to what we need to get at. Okay, so next we're going to install the front actuators. So what I do is there's a clip here. Use a small pocket screwdriver, pull the clip out like that. Get on that one. I'm going to take the strut off on the other side as well. Okay. Next you want to install the power strut. Start in the bottom and lower the hood and clip it in. Excellent. Now that we got our actuators installed, I'm going to snake the wires over to where the module is going to be. So the module is going to sit up around here. This harness is going to run down here. We'll cable tie that up. On the driver's side, you have to watch out. There's a wiper transmission right here, and the linkages sit directly underneath this plastic cover. So there's an arm that comes around like this, and if you put the wire through right here, it'll catch on the linkage. So you want to do is go under the aluminum bracket here for the wiper transmission. It's a little hard to reach, but you can get it. So next we're going to install the soft close actuator, the latch. There's two cables on this. One of these cables, there's two. One of these connects to the latch itself, and the other one is actually an emergency release. So if you lose power or something goes wrong, you can release it. This comes out through goes through the rear bumper, and it comes out at your tow hook cover. So what you want to do is remove your tow hook cover so you can snake the cable through. In order to do that, this is a kind of like a lever. You have to pop it in just the right direction. So it's in the upper right hand corner. Use your thumb and push it firmly until it pops open like that, and then remove. A lot of times there's a clip that's double-sided tape to the back side of this. So when you pull it, it's supposed to pull the wiring out. Some of them stay, some of them don't. Depends if somebody had this apart before or not. These are the cables to, if your battery dies, these are the cables to release the front trunk. There's a positive and a ground. There's no power here. You have to put power to it like a jump pack, and that will open the hood if the battery dies. So this is where they put the tow hook in. So this is where we want to put that emergency cable, right up in here. Not through the tow hook hole in the back here for the bumper, but you want to come up between the skin here, so that not to get in the way if you have to have your vehicle towed. Okay, so now you want to figure out where to stick your actuator. A great little spot for it is between the horn and this ductwork. And if your horn's kind of close like this one, you can actually grab it and bend it up a little bit. It's a steel bracket, so it'll allow you to give it a little flex, a little twist it up. That way you can take your actuator and bring it in down here. And we can use a double-sided stick pad and some zip ties to tie it to the cable and harness so it doesn't move around. Before I mount it, I want to run the emergency release first. So you kind of need to get your hand in there. So what you want to do is go under the support bracket and reach your hand in there as far as you can go. You can go in quite far. Reach in and you'll feel the metal front bumper, and then you'll feel the styrofoam on it. What you want to do is go between the styrofoam and the front plastic bumper. And that's where you want to snake your cable through. So if you pull these out, just enough you should see the cable sticking through. There it is. See that? There you go. Pull that through. And then, once it's through, you want to cable tie this to this harness. You don't want to lose it again. So it's nice and tight. And if you tug it on the other side, there's no chance of it disappearing in the bumper again. So now we're going to mount this. You can mount the larger side down. See how this has bumps? This is a lot smoother, so an adhesive pad will stick to this nice. But you want to prep the area before you stick it on. So I recommend using some rubbing alcohol on a rag. Right down the actuator and the spot you're going to put it in. While it's drying, get the cable tie ready. So we know we're going to put this down here. Feed that through so we can put that in the harness. Get a pad. Comes with the kit. Oop. Okay. Bring that up. Stick it in. If the cable tie is not long enough, you can double it up. So what I'm doing is I'm tying it to the horn bracket and pulling my harness through it at the same time. So it's going to grab the bracket and the wiring harness. That's tight. Make sure you route your cables so they're not binding or pinched as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is remove the spring. Use a pair of pliers and be careful. Take that spring off. And then we're going to remove this 10mm bolt right here. Like that. Take our cable. And this little toe, put it in that hole. Turn it back like that. And this goes into this latch hole like that. And retighten like that. And we tie the cable off down that way. Next, I'm going to put the spring that is supplied with the kit in. Shouldn't need pliers, you can use them if you need to. Put them on like that. Now we're going to take our main harness, these 3 plugs. This one clips in here. Oh. Like that. Like that. This will get tied off down here with the cable. I have 2 other ones. This one goes with this. Now I leave enough slack to keep this available inside the front trunk, like that. So if you have to disconnect it or program it or whatever, it's right there. You don't have to take the whole front trunk apart. We can tuck it up neater later. That'll come out like that. And there's this pigtail here, which goes down on this actuator over here. If you reach down here, there's a clip. Undo. Clip it in. And now just route your wires and tie it up neatly. B-roll. Okay, at this point we're going to get the module in here and start tying up our slack. this over. Be really clean and keep that under. Like that. It's over there. So next we're going to take the module and start plugging everything in so we can figure out where to run the wires. So, like that. This is the left. Right. Okay, and this little pigtail is for the beeper speaker. Best place is just stick it around the module. What I like to do is keep all of our wires on one side. I can put it okay. This is about where I want it, right around here, because this is where the mounting for the front tub goes, so you want to keep it away from that. And now that we have an idea where the module's going, we can tie these wires up in neat bundles.
So to keep things really neat, I'm going to run my ground, my power wire, and my left front trunk harness this way. I'm going to ground it to this bolt right here. They do give you a lot of slack for these actuators. So if you really wanted to, you can mount this module in another location. I have in the past mounted these modules up underneath the windshield when they didn't have this cover on it, just to keep out water. But since we have a cover, we can put it right there. That's not a problem. Here's my power wire, and this is a lot of extra slack here. I'm not going to tie this up. I'm actually going to cut it to make it fit. So here's our fuse holder. You're just going to tie into that 10mm nut right there. I'm going to go up around that way. So we have a lot of slack. So rather than tie all this up, I'm going to cut it and just butt connect the two of them together with a special heat shrink butt connector. That way it's nice and sealed. Okay. Open this up just a little bit. Nice ground. Okay. I'm going to tie this off neatly over here. Okay, so before I mount this and tie this all off, I want to check the system, make sure everything works. Okay, so we're going to check the system. If you notice, I didn't put the tow hook cover back on, just in case something goes wrong. I can have the emergency release there. What we're going to do is use the button and program this. So first of all, we're going to program the height. So you push the hood up all the way, make sure it's up all the way. And push and hold it until you get one solid beep. Okay, so the height's programmed, and then we're going to program the speed. Push and hold it again.
ignore that one. So I mean speed 2, speed 3, 4, 5, 6. I like 6 because 6 works the best. And then push it once. Okay. So it didn't suck it in, so we have to make some adjustments. Okay, so the reason why this didn't latch is because the tooth here is halfway in, because this is not lengthened enough. So what you gotta do is you gotta hold the cable. We adjusted this to get that pin back, but don't adjust it too far, just a little bit, just enough to get it to close. Otherwise you're gonna have problems with it soft closing. It should look like something like that. So now that we made our adjustment, we're going to reclose this. Try again. There we go. Then we're going to go try to open it. Excellent. And then we're going to hit the button again. Excellent. Okay, now that we've verified everything works, we can put the front tow hook cover back on, tuck all this back in here. There's only so much room for these to fit just right. Okay. Okay, that's in. Now we're going to mount the module. Take the adhesive pad off. We're going to stick this here and we'll follow it up with some cable ties. First, I'm going to close this end up. Oh. May need another zip tie. Okay, so they're nice and secure. That's routed with the wiring harness, so you don't get pinched when you put the bolts back in. Don't forget to take this off. And the cable, the wiring harness has to go through here. Now they said this is just a programming harness, so you put this in line with this and the switch. You do your programming. So I had this originally like this, and that plugged into the switch. I did the programming, then unplug it, but leave it in the area, so in case you want to reprogram something like the height, you have the option there, so you don't have to take the whole front trunk apart. And don't forget to put this harness back in there as well, because once you get the tub in, you won't be able to get at that. Okay, now we just need to install the tub. Back. Make sure your wiring is accessible. Like that. Keep it tucked up in the corner. Snap in your fender clips.
and then insert your screws. That all back in. Okay. I just need to put this back on here. And you're all set. Excellent.